Welcome back to the channel. After a few requests, I'm going to retake a look at the best Pokemon attackers and which ones you want to use for raids. After a few changes, so we've had Megas included, we've had Shadow Pokemon added, so it does shake things up a little. In general, I'm just going to say now, if you have a Shadow version of a Pokemon, it does 20% more damage. It also takes more damage, so you're going to have to weigh that up yourselves. It's always going to do more damage. They're always going to be top of these lists. So we're going to look at the Megas, the regular Pokemon, which ones are going to top. And then, for example, if I say Charizard's at the top, a Shadow Charizard would obviously be higher than that, and so on. So we're actually going to start with the Fire Pokemon. So at the very top of the list is Mega Charizard Y and X. These take the two top spots, but also Charizard, I would say, is my budget choice for this one as well. Just because Charmander is one of the easier Pokemons to get. We've had a community day with him, he hatches from eggs. So he is kind of easy to get hold of, and he's easy to get candies of, he's easy to get Mega candies of. He's one of the more common and popular Pokemon. Now, if you are looking for a moveset for Charizard, the best moveset you can go for is Fire Spin and Blast Burn. It is worth noting, if you're going to Mega Evolve, Mega Charizard Y does do slightly more damage than its alternate X version, so bear that in mind when you Mega. Outside of Charizard, for Fire Pokemon, second up we have gone for Reshiram, which is the second highest DPS. Again, obviously ignoring Megas that aren't out yet and the Shadow Pokemon. We're just going off what we can actually use, so Reshiram is second. This is the ideal moveset, Fire Fang Overheat, so if you're planning to use Reshiram, this is the moveset to get. These can be slightly harder to get hold of. I don't think we've had a second run of these guys yet. Ideally you want high attack, the other two don't really matter too much. It's nice to make them a little bulkier and last longer, but it's not the end of the world. Coming in at number 3, I have gone for Darmanitan. Now again, it's Fire Fang Overheat, a fairly common moveset for fire Pokemon. Again, one that was slightly easier to get because we had the double community day type thing for him, which did help me get a couple of them. They were the only good ones, so they're the only ones I kept. They are worth grabbing if you've got them, worth evolving up, worth powering up. So that is my third choice for fire. And as I've already said, my budget pick for this one is going to be the Charizard. Now, taking a look at water, unfortunately, I don't have a good Blastoise, so I don't have one to show you, but the number one choice is Blastoise Mega. Now, the moveset you would want is Water Gun, Hydro Cannon. I don't think it's worth me doing this one because of its low CP, because the stats are okay, so I might actually evolve that one up. And again, it is a Mega Pokemon, which we need for this one. Number 2 in water is Mega Gyarados, so it is a bit unfortunate that it's so heavy on Mega Pokemon now, but it's not a bad thing. Basically, this is the best moveset. You want to be going Waterfall, Hydro Pump, and obviously, again, I do need more candies if I'm going to be doing that, but you want to be Mega Evolving your Gyarados. Or your Shiny Gyarados, depending which you have. I'm sure most people have these now after Community Day. Number 3 is also quite an easy one to get hold of, though, and that is Kingler. So super easy Pokemon, super common Pokemon. So this will also be my budget pick for this one. And its best moveset is Bubble Crabhammer. It doesn't have to be maxed, it only makes a slight difference in those small scenarios. But this is number 3 on the list, and it is also my budget pick. Next up, we are taking a look at grass, and you can probably guess which is number 1. It is Mega Venusaur, the third starter Pokemon in this list so far. The moveset ideally is Vine Whip Frenzy Plant. Now, Frenzy Plant is a Community Day move, so you will need an Elite Charge TM, or possibly just an event where you can do that. If you can't get that, I think otherwise, I would probably go Solar Beam. It takes a while to power up, but it does hit hard, and that's a pretty good alternative if not. Now, if you don't have a Venusaur or the Mega Candy to pull that off, you can use Roserade. It is quite a bit weaker, but then again, anything doesn't really compare to the Megas or the Shadow Pokemon. So with this, Razor Leaf Grass Knot is the best combination. So if you do need an alternative, Roserade is perfect. And then finally, number 3 for me, I have picked Sceptile, another hard-hitting Pokemon not too far behind Roserade. Again, it would be Bullet Seed Frenzy Plant. Mine's got Leaf Blade, you can switch them up. I do prefer the longer attacks on when you're raiding and stuff, so Leaf Blade isn't ideal. I wouldn't go for that if I was using this for raiding. But that is my third pick. I would say Venusaur is probably my budget pick, although they're all quite easy to get hold of now. Next up, taking a look at electric, we've gone for Thundurus, the Therian Form. The Therian Form. His moveset is Volt Switch Thunderbolt. That's the most powerful combination you can get, and one of the most powerful electric Pokemon. Mega Manectric. I don't have one because I just really don't like the Pokemon. I'm not sure if that's actually been released yet, but technically that is slightly higher, so that would be number 1 if it is. Other than Thundurus, the other one is Zekrom. Again, I don't think I have a Zekrom. I think I missed some of these out. Yeah, I've not got a Zekrom, so these are quite difficult to pick up. Again, third place would be the normal Deoxys with the electric moves, using stuff like Charge Beam and Thunderbolt. I don't have one again, so the budget pick for this one, I am going to actually give you a couple of options. My first option would be Electivire, which is very easy to pick up, and I would go Thunder Shock and Wild Charge. I don't know if I can actually just change that, and I cannot, which is why I haven't. Thunder Punch is not a good move for Raiden, so do not use that. Thunder Shock, Wild Charge is the combination you should be going for. I am also going to throw out Mega Ampharos. It's a little harder to get the Mega Candies. Ampharos is super easy to get, but if you can get your hands on one, it's worth doing, because I would say that would come next. Again, don't go Thunder Punch, go Charge Beam and Zap Cannon on that, and that is the best combination you can get for Ampharos. So Electivire and Ampharos would be my options if you can't get a hold of the legendary Pokemon. Now let's take a look at ground Pokemon. So if you're looking for ground Pokemon, the best option you can go for is Landorus. Again, the Therian Form. Mudshot Earthquake is the best combination of attacks you can get for that. It is fairly new out, so I understand if you've not got it. So let's give you some easy options that you can find. In at number 2, we have got Excadrill. Now, the most powerful or best DPS for Excadrill is Mudslap Drill Run. You can also run in with Earthquake, which is slightly lower damage, but again, it would be higher than anything else on this list. I would go Landorus first, Excadrill second, and third place I would go for this beauty, Groudon. It doesn't have to be shiny. Super lucky to pick this up. I actually wouldn't use this one. Well, I would. I love using shinies. His IVs aren't great, but Mudshot Earthquake is the combination to go for. Again, it's fairly easy to pick up. We've had him come out a few times now. So if you don't have one of these, Excadrill is easy to pick up as an alternative. But as always, I will give you a budget option. So for this one, very easy to pick up, Rhydon into Rhyperior. And for Rhyperior, I've gone for Mudslap Earthquake, the best DPS it can put out. Very cool looking Pokemon as well. Big fan of the Pokemon itself. Rhyhorns are all over the place. They hatch from eggs. They're easier to pick up. Most people have already probably picked up this Pokemon. So it's one that you can power up and start leveling and giving it moves and using in raids. Now, coming in at number 1 for Ice, it is the Mega Abomasnow. Now, you can see I've not done any Mega raids for this so far. I think if you're raiding a lot, Megas are the way to go, obviously. They're a lot more powerful than just regular versions. For this one, that is not the moveset at all. Do not go that. If you need an Ice Pokemon. Now, if you do want to use this guy, it is Powder Snow and Weather Ball as the combination. Again, I do need to grind out candy for him, so I might be doing some raids. If you want to jump in some of them, I will drop my friend code below. Feel free to drop yours as well. More people the merrier. But that is the best for Ice. Next up, and my budget pick for this one, I've gone for Mamoswine. Incredible DPS and very easy to pick up. The best combination is Powder Snow Avalanche. That gives you the highest DPS possible for this guy. I do think there's a few Megas like Glalie and stuff that would be more powerful. But I also don't know if they're out yet. I don't think they are. If you've got them, use them instead. But again, it's grinding out that Mega Candy. Mamoswine is easy to pick up. So that's why I've gone for him. I'll give you 2 more options. My number 3 is Weavile. Have I got an Ice version? Yes. Okay, so the best combination is Ice Shard Avalanche for this guy. He does drop DPS compared to the others, but still a very good alternative. He's not as tanky, so he will get knocked out a lot quicker. And then finally, as a second budget pick, just because the first 2 were Megas and they're kind of hard to grind out, I should say, I've gone for Glaceon with Frost Breath and Ice Beam. Now, the alternative, again, I've not got any TM, so I can't do it right now, but Frost Breath Avalanche is more powerful. So if you can do that, that would be my choice for this Pokemon. Again, it's a super easy Pokemon to pick up. Kind of difficult to evolve into. As with all Eevees, there's so many evolutions now. But if you've got a couple of these, that would be my suggestion in 4th. And as the budget pick. Taking a look at Dark Pokemon, there's actually someone that I forgot for Fire. You could also use Mega Houndoom. I did forget he had just come out as a Mega, so he is an alternative for that, but he's also Dark. And with Snarl Foul Play, that is his most powerful setup. So he's the perfect Dark attacker if you've got a Mega of him. Again, one that I need to grind more candy out for, but he is worth doing. Especially because not only is he one of the best Dark, he is one of the best Fire attackers as well. So if you're not planning to do many raids, I would suggest go for Houndoom because he covers a few different types, which is perfect. Now, if you do have one of these, super good to pick up, Darkrai. It only came out once and I don't think it's been back yet. It might be twice, I might have that wrong. But Snarl Dark Pulse is the best combination if you do have one. The best Dark attacker which isn't a Mega. So I would say the problem is you can't trade these. So try and pick one up whenever they're out. Make sure you get out there. Make sure you're doing the raids and you get a good one because he is worth keeping. Always good to have high attack on it. I didn't mean to slide over. Although we are going to move on to that boy in a second because he is going to be my budget pick. Super easy to pick up and one that's been around a long time now. It hatches from eggs. There's plenty of raids with him in. People have them for trade. So if you play with friends, just ask them. They've probably got a few they're happy to throw away. He has dropped from where he used to be. He was one of the best Dark attackers, but there's so many Megas now. Mega Gengar, Mega Gyarados, which can have 2 Dark attacks, which make them better alternatives if you have them. Again, we will come to Gengar soon because he is at the top of the Ghost as well. So he's one of the Pokemon if you want, and you don't do many raids, make sure you raid his because he's got Ghost and Dark. The same with Gyarados, Water and Dark. But there is a ton of Pokemon which, if you don't play much, they are the ones you should be going for. Next up, again, good with Ice, good with Dark, so try and grab a couple of these, is Weavile. So his best combination is Snarl Foul Play. He is miles away from the Mega Houndoom, so, I mean, it really depends. If you're with like 10, 15 other people, it's not going to matter too much, so you can grab the Weaviles. If it is just like 3 of you and you need that power, the Megas are going to be the way to go. Worth mentioning, just outside of Weavile is this guy, Yveltal. Now the problem with this is he hasn't got very powerful attacks. I thought they'd bring him out with his own attack. So that does mean he's not as powerful as other Megas or Legendaries, but Snarl Dark Pulse would be the combination for him if you're planning on using him. He is also a good flying attacker, so he is worth picking up. He is out now, so make sure you go raid him. Make sure you do pick him up because he is good as like a 4th or 5th attacker. But I don't think they've really given him his dues for this one, and he's not the powerhouse he should be. Next up, we've got Fairy. Now, the undisputed champion of Fairy is Gardevoir. Not only is she the best Mega, outside of Mega, she is the most powerful. You would expect Xerneas to be up here, but again, they've not given these legendaries anything worth like hunting them down, really. It is unfortunate because I do like the X and Y legendaries, but in Pokemon Go, they're just not it. Now, the best combination for Gardevoir is Charm and Dazzling Gleam, which is going to become a bit of a trend with the Fairy Pokemon. There aren't many Fairy attacks, so a lot of them do share attacks. Gardevoir is number 1. At number 2, with the exact same moveset, is Togekiss. Mine's got an extra attack just for Ultra League. I would also say this is like I don't see many people do it, but it's one of the most powerful openers. Togekiss or Gardevoir with Charm. Now, when you're charming them, it drops their attack, but it also hits like a truck. So you're taking like 10% of their health every tap. The attack's getting lower. It's such a good fast attack. So underrated. Test it out in Ultra League and get back to me. Let me know what you think. So other than our Togekiss, in at 3rd place is this guy, Gramble. Now that is obviously not the moveset. You want to go Charm, Play Rough. I think we can actually do that. We'll Fast TM him. So we have got one. Charm, Play Rough. Gramble is a slightly tankier version, but he is also powerful and not far off Togekiss or Gardevoir. Now, as my budget pick, if you don't have any of those, they can be a little hard to get. I think Gardevoir is probably the easiest, or because of the recent event, maybe a Snubbull into Granbull. Clefable would be my budget pick. By now, you should have a ton of these things. Charm, Dazzling Gleam again. It's a little lower CP, so it's not going to hit as hard, and it's a lot further down the DPS charts. But as an alternative, if you've not got the other three, this guy will do. Now, my favorite type. Let's take a look at the Ghost Pokemon and the undisputed champion, Gengar. Now, all of his Megas in different combinations of attacks. So you've got Lick, you've got Hex, you've got Shadow Claw, all using Shadow Ball, are the top, or by mile, the best ghost damage. Nothing comes anywhere near Mega Gengar, and then after all of that, eventually, regular Gengar comes in. Lick is the best alternative, but it just depends if you have it. Hex is a great alternative if you don't. I think Lick was its Community Day move, so I would have to use my special here to get it back. Or not Community Day, Legacy. Basically, it was an older move, which it no longer has. I'm going to use this on mine just to give it Lick. And that is the best version of a Gengar you can get. Lick Shadow Ball is the most powerful. Only slightly, but it is worth the extra damage if you can get it. And again, its Mega version is far, far more powerful than any other Ghost Pokemon. Now, Gengar isn't that difficult to get. I guess everyone would have one by now, but if you don't have one, Chandelure, which I would say is harder to pick up, is the only one sort of competing with Gengar, really. Hex Shadow Ball is the best combination for it. And if you can't get a Gengar, this is okay. I say okay, it's just because Gengar dominates Ghost. But this guy is a good second. When Mega Bayonet comes out, that is supposed to be more powerful, according to DPS charts and stuff. But we haven't seen that yet, so it is really just this guy we're relying on for Ghost damage. Now, in at number 3, one of my favorite Pokemon, or favorite legendaries, I should say, is Giratina. Now, this is the origin form. Shadow Claw and Shadow Ball is the best combination. I don't have any TMs at the moment, so it's stuck with Ominous Wind. But it is shiny, so I will take that. That is, I would say, even more difficult than the others to pick up. Gengar is the easiest to pick up, and he is my budget choice for this one. Get as many Gengars as you can. Power them up. They are good for dark attacks. They're good for ghost attacks. They're one of the most powerful Megas in terms of damage. You need Gengars, and I'm not just saying that because he's like the channel mascot and he's not in this. There's a Gengar kicking about somewhere. I think I've packed him up. I'm currently in the process of moving, but normally I've got a few Gengar plushes and figures and stuff. My favorite Pokemon by a country mile. Now, taking a look at Dragon, I don't have one myself, but Black Kyurem is the most powerful other than the Megas. All the Dragon Megas absolutely dominate. Black Kyurem is the only one that can compete with them. I don't have one personally, but if you don't have one, Rayquaza is a great alternative. He's been in raids quite a lot, so he's a lot easier to pick up. And the best combination is Dragon Tail Outrage for him. Now, if you can't get one of those, a Salamence is a great alternative. Dragon Tail Outrage again. A lot easier to pick up than Rayquaza. Obviously, he's not in raids at the moment. The Salamence he's going to be a lot easier to get, basically. I'm not going to pick him as my budget one because I still don't think he's easy until we get him again in a Community Day. So that is my number 2 pick. In at number 3, unfortunately, is White Kyurem. Another one that I don't have. I must have missed those raids, but unfortunately he is number 3. Even the alternatives to that are the Palkia and Haxorus. 2 more Pokemon I don't have. I think I might have his smaller version, yeah. I'm not quite there on Haxorus yet, but Palkia and Haxorus would be up next. So my budget version for Dragon is quite a lot weaker than the other ones, but it is one of my favorite Pokemon, and that is Dragonite. I just tried to TM him. You don't want Steel Wing. You want Dragon Tail Outrage. I think his Dragon Tail might be a Legacy or Community move, whatever they were called. I can't remember which it was. One of my favorite Pokemon. Look how shiny he is. Such a shiny boy. He's also lucky, which is the perfect combination. But basically, Dragonites are a great alternative if you don't have those other ones. And because so many are legendaries and one-off legendaries, which we haven't had again yet, Dragonite might be your go-to. Okay, taking a look at fighting Pokemon. Lucario is the strongest. This is the best moveset for him. You want to go Counter Aura Sphere, which is a move only he can learn. Very thematic to like the movies and anime, if you care about that stuff, which I do. So yeah, he's going to be your best choice. I know people use Machamp, and he is a great second alternative. I would probably choose him as my budget version for this because he is the easiest to pick up. If you don't have a Lucario or a Machamp, another alternative is somebody I don't have, but it is Conkeldurr. Counter Dynamic Punch, which you would use on most of them. If you don't have any of them, another alternative is Breloom. Again, same moveset, you want to go Counter Dynamic Punch. This does have the benefit or negative of being grass, so depending what Pokemon you're fighting, it can potentially be tankier, but you're going to have to weigh that one up for yourself. So those are my 4 options for fighting. Now, if you're looking for another useful Pokemon, like I mentioned before, Roserade is great for grass, but it's also great for poison and the best attacker you can have. Now, you want to go like mine, Poison Jab, Sludge Bomb. That is the best combination of moves, and it is actually the highest poison damage you can get at the moment. Unless you've got a Mega Beedrill, then you can do the same moveset, but slightly more powerful. And again, it's one of those one-of-a-time answer things. If you've got the candy, do the Mega. If you don't, you've got Roserade as an alternative. If you don't have that, another great shout is Toxicroak. Now, mine currently doesn't have Poison Jab because I use it for PvP. So it is a lot lower CP. You can power it up, but this is really, there's not many great poison attackers, to be honest. I would try and get a Roserade or Beedrill if you can. I mean, it's going to have to be this guy. I wouldn't really rely on him, but it is a good third choice. Other than that, you could use something like a Victory Bell or Vileplume. Only difference there is they're going to have the fast move Acid instead of Poison Jab. Now, Bug is going to be quite simple. It's Beedrill. Beedrill in probably 5 or 6 different move combinations before anything else even comes close. It's obviously the Mega version, and the best moveset is Bug by X Scissor. There's a few other combinations that you can go with, and it will still beat out most other things. So Beedrill or Mega Beedrill is the first and almost only choice. Genesect with Fury Cutter X Scissor is an okay alternative, but again, it's quite hard to get hold of, honestly, compared to Mega Candy, so you're going to have to weigh up which you have. Those are my 2 alternatives. You can use stuff like Pinsir, but at this point it gets to where like you might as well just use a different type because it's not going to be the only weakness. Yeah, so similar to Poison, Bug isn't the greatest type at the moment. Let's take a look at Steel then. So Metagross is still the undefeated champion. Obviously Shadow is best, and again, when Megas come, that will be the best. Mega Metagross will top that. At the minute, Bullet Punch Meteor Mash is the best combination. If you don't have one of these, a good Pokemon is Dialga. I think I've got one. That's not how you spell it. Metal Claw Iron Head is the best combination. Metagross is far, far more powerful, but Dialga is a good second. If you've not got that, my budget pick for this one would be Excadrill. Now, like I said before, he's a great ground attacker, so having him usable for Steel as well makes him one of the best Pokemon you can pick up. Metal Claw Iron Head is the best combination of moves you can get for him for Steel. And like I said before, Mud Slap Drill Run for ground. Now, taking a look at rock Pokemon, one of my favorite Pokemon of all time, Rampardos. He is the best choice you can get for rock. There is no Shadow, there is no Megas, there's nothing above him right now, which I love. I love Dinosaur Pokemon as well. He looks really cool. His best moveset is Smackdown Rock Slide. Then anything near him is going to be a Mega or a Shadow. The only thing coming close in the game at the moment would be a Rhyperior with Smackdown Rock Wrecker. Then very similar movesets, you could use Terrakion or, failing that, a Tyranitar. Now, it does not need to be shiny, but you do need the Community Day move. So you need Smackdown Stone Edge, which is the most powerful, and I would say budget version of rock Pokemon. Taking a look at flying Pokemon, other than Mega Pidgeot, which again, you need the candy for, that would be the best and strongest version, using Gust and Brave Bird. But if you've not got that, let's take a look at a few alternatives. So number 2 would be another good fire attacker, but an even better flying attacker, Moltres, with Wing Attack and Sky Attack. If you've not got that, good alternatives to that are Honchkrow and Rayquaza. For Rayquaza, you're looking at the moveset of Air/Hurricane, which is the best combination. Honchkrow would be Peck and Sky Attack. Failing that, Staraptor has come out recently and is very powerful, and I would have that maybe as my budget pick for this one. It's definitely the easiest to pick up of the 4 or 5 I've mentioned. The best combination would be Wing Attack Brave Bird if you're looking to use Staraptor. For an unknown reason, I forgot Psychic Pokemon. One of my favourite types, probably, so that's a little strange, but obviously top of that list is Mewtwo. Confusion Psystrike is the most powerful combination. Obviously with Mega Mewtwo X and Y, when they do eventually come out, they will be 2 of the most powerful Pokemon in the game. Not just Psychic Pokemon, but in general. Obviously a Mewtwo is going to be great to get now, but also for in the future. If you've not got them, Deoxys Attack Form is a great alternative, obviously not with that moveset at all. They want to go Zen, Headbutt, Psycho Boost. That's the best combination for them, but again, Deoxys aren't the easiest to pick up. I've only got a couple of them. So, my budget pick for Psychic would be Alakazam. Super easy to pick up. Confusion Psychic is the most powerful, but Future Sight is fine. So it's going to hit big, which is important. But Alakazam, there's not much that compares to it outside of the legendaries, megas, and shadows. So this is an easy pick for budget. Just in case you haven't got one of those, maybe easier would be Espeon. Confusion Psychic is the most powerful combination for that. It should be a little easier to pick up. EVs are everywhere. Everyone's had a ton of EVs by now. The only problem might be evolving it into the right one. There we go. I've actually finished. That is all of the types, all of the strongest attackers from each of them. And even Shadows and Megas yet to come into the game and where they would rank. Let me know if this has helped you in the comments below. Feel free to drop your Pokemon friend code so people in the comments can add you, I can add you, we can raid together so we can catch some of these Pokemon. Always makes it a lot easier with friends. Thank you so much for watching if you've made it to this point, and I will catch you in the next one.